There's a bunch of questions that have been queuing up, and I thought I would just answer a few of them in one batch. Fady asks, Bob, do you ever play clarinet or flute? If I can help it, no. Tex BLS asks, hey Ben, I'm pretty sure you mean Bob, but let's go with it. How old were you when you started playing? I was 13 when I started playing the sax. Tom asks, hi Bob, what's the track you use in the background for the first part of the video? It's really sweet. Thanks, Tom. He is referring to episode 26 here. It's a long story, Tom. I mean, the track is called Intro Jam, but it's part of an album that I haven't put out yet, and the album is like 80% of the way done. I just haven't finished it. That's a longer story. TJC197 asks, how long does a box of reeds, let's say 5, last you? I use reeds for a long time. I play Rico Royal 3.5s. I don't know, they're now calling them D'Addario. I will stretch reeds for a really longer than I need to. If you're going through them that fast, my suggestion is you need to move up to harder reeds, and that'll help. Cass asks, was that a donut with bacon on top? Yes, that was a donut with bacon on top. Benny writes, I've been practicing a lot of long tones recently, mainly trying to hold a subtone on B flat. I'm assuming low B flat, but I'm starting to get pain under my chest, especially when I get up in the morning. Did this ever happen to you? Is it harmful in any way? Benny, it's not happened to me that I can remember. If it's painful, then I think you need to check whatever it is you're doing and make some adjustments or give it a rest or give it a break, because pain is never where you want to be. Nuno Van Halen 023 asks, and I'm pretty sure he's asking this for the 4th or 5th time, what camera do you use? Here's the thing. I'll answer the question. I use a Canon 60D and an iPhone. A lot of it is just an iPhone, and I mix them together. This question bothers me, and I don't mean any offense. I'm not mad at this person for asking it, but in general, it's a question about what gear do you use. And for me, the question, what gear do you use, is always, it's hiding. Let me explain. I need a book. I need to find a book. Here it is. Okay. This is the book I've been looking for. One of my favorite books. I read this book twice a year, The War of Art. It's definitely my most recommended book. It's not that large. You can finish this in a couple days easily. I love the way it's written. It's a manual. Just trust me, I'm not gonna take the time to explain the whole thing. Look, this book is amazing. It could change your life. It could. You know, it's always up to you, right? But the ideas in here are extremely solid. I'm going to reread this thing again soon. Stephen Pressfield comes up with a concept in here called the resistance. He terms it the resistance. The resistance, he basically deems it's this unseeable force that keeps us from doing what we know we want to do or should do, and somehow maybe we're afraid. So the subtitle of the book, The War of Art, is Break Through the Blocks and Win Your Inner Creative Battles. And what this has to do with gear, questions about gear. Questions about gear in almost any medium, whether you're asking about what mouthpiece do you play or what camera do you use, they come from a place of, in my opinion, you want to know the answer to those things most of the time, because you are hoping that the answer is either A, that the gear is expensive and out of your reach, and that will put you at ease, because if you have that, if that's the answer, then you know that that's really the reason you're not doing something that you want to be doing or know you should be doing or think you should be doing, because, oh, the gear is out of my league. It's too expensive. So, or the other version is you're hoping that the answer to the gear question is some piece of equipment that you'll get that will make the difference. Oh, if I have that camera, I will make great videos. If I have that mouthpiece, I will sound like so-and-so or sound fantastic. When, of course, the real answer is not that. No, you don't need a great camera to make videos. You need to make videos to make videos, and you don't need a $700 mouthpiece to sound great. You need a lot of practice and a lot of time spent on a decent mouthpiece and listen to the right stuff. It's always the work. That's the answer. It's always the work that gets you there. Let me just read a chapter here. I love that this is a page in the book. I'm going to read you a full page. What I know. There's a secret that real writers know that wannabe writers don't. And the secret is this. It's not the writing part that's hard. What's hard is sitting down to write. What keeps us from sitting down is resistance. Most of us have two lives, the life we live and the unlived life within us. Between the two stands resistance. Are you a writer who doesn't write? a painter who doesn't paint, an entrepreneur who never starts a venture, then you know what resistance is. Resistance is the most toxic force on the planet. It is the root of more unhappiness than poverty, disease, and erectile dysfunction. To yield to resistance deforms our spirit. It stunts us and makes us less than we are and were born to be. I'm going to skip ahead. This part is pretty deep. Here we go, back to the book. You know, Hitler wanted to be an artist. At 18, he took his inheritance, 700 kronen, and moved to Vienna to live and study. He applied to the Academy of Fine Arts and later to the School of Architecture. Ever see one of his paintings? Neither have I. Resistance beat him. Call it overstatement, but I'll say it anyway. It was easier for Hitler to start World War II than it was for him to face a blank square of canvas. So look, read this book. It's awesome. The point is, and I don't mean to harp or beat up on anybody, it's just that I firmly believe that when we're asking questions, and I do this myself, so that's why I say it. I know this feeling. We're hiding when we ask questions like, oh, what such and such do you use? It's just an excuse for not getting started, and getting started is always the hardest part. I heard a great quote recently, I don't remember who to attribute it to, and it was basically along the lines of, you can edit shit, but you can't edit nothing. And this most definitely applies to practicing, you know? I mean, my horn is sitting right here. It's right here. It's out. It's put together. The reed is on. The neck strap is there. And I don't want to practice. I don't want to face it. I don't want to deal with it. This is every day of my life is like this. If I didn't have gigs to play, if I didn't have music to learn, if I didn't have the desire to want to sound halfway decent when I perform, I wouldn't practice at all. If there was no sort of deadline, if there was no public facing part of it, I just would never do it. It'd never happen. The resistance is real, and the only solution that I know of is to just start. Just get started, whatever that is, whether it's writing, playing music. I know this for sure, sitting around and trying to think of the perfect solution, the perfect answer, it won't get you anywhere. The only thing that will get you anywhere is just starting.